What is going on, everybody? Let's go, man. You guys are blowing up the comments already. Let me know if you guys can hear me right now because I'm using a different style of mic, courtesy of Dominique Rivera. I mean, you guys, if you've seen the show, you already know who she is. Divine Encounter. She is also in season 3, but man, wow. I'm just so excited to be here with you guys. Man, you have no idea. We made it. Me and you, the Positivity Posse, man. We all made it to this point. This is, I was just telling, somebody earlier that, wow, this is just such new territory, and we are going to conquer this territory together because, man, this is all fruits of our labor, because without the Positivity Posse, there is no weekly dose of Dano TV. And without me, there's no you guys. So it's a perfect circle, man. Y'all already know how we do it. The more that we give, the more that we can receive. And the more that we receive, the more that we can give. Wow. I sound lower. Can I try to unplug and plug again? Let's try that. All right, we're gonna unplug if this wants to come out. This is like brand new stuff, so it doesn't even want to come out. Wow, it doesn't even want to come out. All right, well, let me know in the comments if you guys can hear me. My guy, Ryan, hey, look, this is actually our first comment, I believe, ever from YouTube. So that lets me know that the YouTube comments are working as well. Wow, man, you guys are blowing it up in here. Beautiful show opener. You guys have no idea how much time and energy it took to make that. I wanted to make it as best that I can for you guys because I already know you guys are showing up every week, bringing your best energy. So I got to do the same for you guys. You already know I can't be slacking in the same department. What, are you kidding me? Come on now. This is season 3 that we're doing right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. Voice sounds deeper. I'll take it. You know how everybody thinks about their own voice. You hear your own voice in the replay and you're like, oh, it's super high pitched. I don't even want to listen to it. So that's good. Thank you, Erica. I appreciate the compliments. And oh man, you guys really have no idea the journey, how amazing the journey has been in order to get to this spot right now. I mean, this is season 3. Let's go. Can I get, you know what? Let me drop it for you guys because you guys don't even know. You guys really don't even, I'm about to show you right now. So in honor for the Positivity Posse, because you guys always, can you drop a hashtag Positivity Posse? Let me get something right there. That is for you guys. And you know what? We're not over yet. Can I get a hashtag Positivity Posse for you guys? Let's go, man. You already know we're coming out with new ideas. We're staying in our vortex. We're with that positive energy, and I had to create this for you guys. This took a while too. Something that is really not small to me, but something that it looks like it seems like it's pretty easy to make. You guys, if you're a content creator, you already know that nothing is as easy as it looks. They don't see the countless hours, the sleepless nights that go into it, and just wow, it's just so awesome to be able to say that we made it, that we really did make it. So that's what I'm talking about. I see you already know. Positivity Lassie. Hey, that's a new one. Close enough. I'll take it. Positivity Posse. That's what I'm talking about. Let me know if you guys can hear me still, because I heard that there was it's the mic. So there you go. I mean, we'll try something new. We're trying something new right now. Maybe if I just plug this in a little bit more, then it'll be all right. So there is so much to uncover, so much to unpack for the year. It's 2022, and you guys probably already know where I'm headed with this, but in case you don't, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 of my goals for this year. And please drop it in the chat what your goals are, because when you share it with somebody else, 1, you're making yourself accountable, and 2, you never know who in the comments might have the same goal as you. So, hey, you might meet a new friend just to say, hey, you're going to be my little accountability buddy. All right, if I'm going off, my track and my path and what I'm supposed to be doing and what I intended for myself for the year, you can give this person a phone call. You can just send them a quick text. Hey, any advice from me, any recommendations? So please drop it in the chats. Just tell me what 3 of your New Year's resolutions. If you have more, you can drop more. I'm here all night so we can read. So let's get it. 3 of my resolutions for the year. Number 1 is arriving to places 15 minutes prior to the start of the event, to the start of the meeting, whatever you want to call it. If there's something that I need to go to, whether it's, this or whatever the case may be, it really doesn't matter. I want to start arriving 15 minutes prior. And let me give you guys a little tip too. If you speak in the affirmative, it's actually better, just because you're conditioning yourself and you're saying the positive affirmations to make sure that it does happen, and you're nudging yourself in a nice direction. If you're mean to yourself, or you're talking down to yourself like, oh, I got to stop being late, the key phrase in that sentence is late. So what do you think you're going to manifest? So just a little quick tip for you guys as well. So I want to start arriving 15 minutes prior to whatever I got invited to or whatever I need to do. That's number one for me. Number two, eating foods that will help me achieve the figure that I want. And if you notice, I didn't say dream body, only because when you say dream body, it makes it seem like it's so far away and that there's a lot of hard work involved and that it's really not attainable. No, it's the body that I want. So I'm going to eat the foods that I need to do in order to get to that spot. So that's going to be for me. And I think I also saw someone, there you go, shed a few pounds. We're in the same boat. I got to do the same thing. I have to do the same. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. And if there's any, ideas or suggestions that you have for me, I know I can give you an idea right here. Is if you know that you're a big snacker, don't buy snacks. I mean, come on now. That's like you're setting yourself up for failure. You ever see the cartoons where they step on the rake and it smacks them right in their face? That's what you're doing, basically. That's what you're doing, essentially. So make sure that'll be my tip for you. If you're a snacker, make sure you're not buying snacks. You're not filling up that household with those temptations in order to. And don't get me wrong, snacks are good, depending on what you get. I mean, if you consider a whole tub of ice cream to be a snack, then that's probably not helping towards your goals. But that's number two for me. So we're in the same boat. I feel that same energy. Number three, staying in my flow. And this is a big one. Staying in my flow. Remembering that I'm the only person that can take me out of my flow. And you guys, please tell me that you have experienced the flow. Like whatever it may be, if you're getting hyped before a sporting event or a sporting game, or you got some work that you need to get done and you close the door, drink your coffee, listen to your music, and you're laser focused on that project that you need to finish. Please make sure that you're always staying in your flow, and the only person that can really take you out is you. And, myself too. That's why I wrote this down as my goal. When you give other people the power to take away where you're meant to be and where you need to be, man, you're just handing over your power. You're not holding anything in for yourself, and you're not the master of your domain, and not in the way that they said in Seinfeld, master of your domain. No, master of your domain, that you are the creator of your universe. And you have full control on what happens, on the things that you can react to. Now, obviously, we all know that we don't have control over every single thing that happens in our life, but we do have full control over how we respond to these things that happen to our life. So, if you get a flat tire, let's just say, and I'm not wishing that on anybody, we don't claim that energy over here, but let's just use that as an example. You can either let that ruin your day, or you can just get out, fix the tire, call AAA, and be grateful that, maybe you weren't even on the highway. And imagine if your tire would have popped on the highway. And, it's kind of a rough statement or a rough example, but it definitely does pertain to what it might have saved you from. See, because you never know you don't know what you don't know. So always look at it as a blessing. Everything is a blessing depending on the angle, on how you look at it. So that'll be my words for you guys. And that's number three for me, staying in my flow. I know that sometimes people can try, the outside forces can try to knock you off, or if you're on your pedestal and you're feeling good and you're like, damn, I'm feeling really good today. There'll be a different plethora of things that'll try to knock you off. And make sure that you remember that you have control on how you react to things. Okay? And that's that. So those are my three. And I feel like with these three things, I can single-handedly change how my year will turn out, you know? So let's read a few of the comments right here. All right. Let's see. I usually have a word for the year. Last year was expansion, which it did. This year is ease. Everything flows to me with ease. Hey, it's the same thing, staying in my flow. There we are. We're on the same wavelength right now. I actually love that, because when you have that ease and you have that knowing that whatever that you ask for will come to fruition, then it's like, what do you really have to worry about? And I'll even stack something on top of that. When you start to worry about you not receiving the finances, or you're not receiving the opportunity, or whatever, you start to have that doubt and that resistance. That portion of who you are, that portion of human being, the negative side, starts to take over you as an entire being, and it really blocks. You're just setting up roadblocks in order to receive the different manifestations and the different opportunities and the different blessings that you're asking for. So ease is definitely a huge one that I also need to work on that as well. But you know, we're all human. It just comes with the game, and it just comes with knowing and expanding it to that person that we know that each and every one of us can be. And I'm not just talking fluff, because we are all, you know, I believe that we're all put on this earth to do amazing, amazing things. But we kind of get distracted with life, you know. And I put air quotes around life, because everybody experiences different things, and we all have it different. Nobody has it better or worse. We're all besides each other. And yeah, so ease is definitely very important. Number one, to live debt-free. I love this, because once you don't have that debt hanging over your head, you're free to live however you want. And you have that comfortability to make sure, hey, if I want to go walk the park, I can go walk the park. If I want to go take a trip somewhere, sorry, my nose is itchy. If I want to go fly somewhere, then you have the ability to do that, because you're not living in debt. Making new connections. I'll give you guys a little golden nugget that I learned. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. So making new connections is definitely very important. There's also what everybody knows. It's not what you know, it's who you know sometimes that actually gives you the edge. So making new connections most definitely is very important. So I agree with that. Make the documentary that rocks the world. I already know. You already told me that everything that you've ever wanted in your life, you've done. So I'm just putting it on record right here. I'm putting it into the public that this will happen. I'm co-signing this. I know it's going to happen. So there's just, you guys, oh, look, we even got a fourth one. See, I told you, if you guys have more, just keep dropping them. Maximize the moments, making the most of those moments that mean a lot to you, 1000%. Let me just say hello to Denise. Hi, Denise. Thank you so much for being here. So number 4, maximizing the moments. I feel like that's kind of a hard one, because I used to think this way too, is that we think, oh, once we have this certain amount of money, or we have this certain car, or we have this certain spouse or significant other, whatever you believe in, or whatever you prefer, I should say. We think that once we have that opportunity, whatever the item it may be or scenario, then we will be happy. But let's look at it from this perspective. And I already told you, if you guys saw it, and if you guys caught it, actually, I should say, changing perspectives and new perspectives with the Positivity Posse. When you think that you will achieve happiness in a time down the road or sometime in the future, right now you're not happy, so you're not vibrating at your optimum frequency. And then how do you expect these things to fall into your lap, or these great things to happen to you, if you're not living in the moment right now and vibrating at your optimum frequency, you know? And I used to fall victim to that too. That mindset is like, okay, well, if I have once I get $1 million down the road, then I'll be happy. But in the meantime, I'll just be miserable. That's basically what you're saying. So always keep that in mind. And when you live in the moment, I mean, that's really all that we really have right now, is the moment, is the present. That's why they call it the present, because it's a present, it's a gift. You know, tomorrow's not guaranteed. Shoot, an hour from now is not even guaranteed. So don't go around, you know, just wasting time and wasting your energy on stuff that really isn't important, or it really doesn't even matter. I mean, yo, you are the captain of your ship. So make sure that you're steering that and you're whipping that. You know what I'm saying? You're whipping that ship in the right direction, and it is on the straight path too. Because if you move an inch, or let's say you turn that wheel a little bit too far to the right, look at this. So this is the straight path right here. I'm actually just going to switch directions because it's easier. But let's say you're going straight, and then there's this path where it goes off, and then there's this path where it goes straight. Eventually, if you're doing things that you're not supposed to be doing, then you already know that's going to lead you down a path that you're really not supposed to be on. So be happy now. I agree with that 1000%. There's so many new just segments and just different things that we have planned for you for today. And it's just going to be me for today because I wanted to bring in the New Year's right. 2022 with the Positivity Posse. You already know how we're going to rock. So there's one clip, and I'm going to be able to show you guys next week. But today I can't show you because this past weekend, I was in Chicago, and I wanted to bring you guys some brand new energy and some new content in a new city. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, everything's perspective, it snowed. So I wasn't able to leave the house and do the content that I wanted to do for you guys. But come back next week, and you already know that we're going to drop that fire for you guys. I can't wait. I can't really wait. Now, you guys already know, out with the old and with the new. We had the old 511 tips and tricks on how to live a happy and rewarding life. But we're on season 3, so now we got a new book. I already showed you guys this book too. Affirmations for Happiness. What better way to start off the year than talking to yourself in a positive light? I mean, come on. If you guys can think of a better way to start the year, then write it in the comments, because I can't think of one. And what we're going to do is we're going to take page 1 and we're just going to run through them, because there's only 200 of them. So let's see. 200 really isn't that much. I mean, I think I've had over 200 episodes now that I think about it. All right, here we go. It actually starts on page 10. So if you believe if 10 is your lucky number, then hey, I just called it out for you. That's a confirmation. So here it is. I am becoming a magnet for joy. Today's the day. I'm consciously using my breath to make space in my body, mind, and heart to gracefully attract new levels of joy. I'm ready to welcome more joy into my experience. So here it is again. I'm becoming a magnet for joy. Wow, wow, wow. Isn't that in line with what we just said, what we just talked about being happy now, so that you don't have to wait down the road and you can change your reality right now once you're happy. So here we go. I welcome joy into my life. If that resonated with you, please just let me know that you guys are rocking with me right now. Even a hashtag Positivity Posse. I don't even care, just because I'm loving this energy right now, man. Season 3. And I actually had to change the camera too. So I know Dominique saw that. So she won't beat me up the next time that I see her. So that's that. And that's going to be the new book for the year as well. Here it is, Affirmations for Happiness. Just because I feel like that's super, super important, especially with the way that the world is going right now. Nobody really knows what we're going to do, what we're heading into. But we're going to conquer whatever gets thrown our way, because that's just who we are in the Positivity Posse. You kidding me? Are you kidding me? Let's go, man. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Denise. I knew I could count on Denise. So what we have planned for the rest of the show, there's actually a new segment. I don't even know if I should bring it on to you guys right now or if I should wait. You know what? Jose, actually, sorry, y'all got to wait. My guy Jose's commenting. What's going on, Jose? I hope you had a great new year. And tell me some of your affirmations. Look, I'm thinking about the book. Tell me about some resolutions that you may have, and drop them in the comments just to see if anybody else is in the same wavelength as you, and just to throw into that community of great energy, because we already know we're changing the world with this. You guys believe it, don't believe it, I don't care. And I'm going to stay in my flow. Number 3 is what I told you guys. And we're just going to keep moving forward with everything. That's what you guys always crush it, man. I love it. freaking love it so much. All right, you know what? We have 5 minutes. I'm gonna drop the new segment for you guys. Here it is. So hopefully this works. I have to share it on my other computer for this to work. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna share the screen right now. So this year on season 3 of Weekly Dose of Dano TV, we're going to start doing games. And these games, you will receive, select tab to preview, you'll receive a prize. And I ordered the prize already, but it hasn't gotten here. So we're gonna do it in the way that whoever shares, and if you have, sometimes, actually a lot of the time, a lot of people share the program, but I never get any updates on Facebook, or I don't get any updates on YouTube, whatever the platform is, I really don't see all of them. So if you have proof that you shared, we are going to be giving away some prizes, but I can't tell you what the prizes are because we got to keep it top secret. And the first person that gets the prize, I'm going to tell them to take a picture just so they can show you guys what the different prizes are that we're going to be offering here on Weekly Dose of Dano TV. You already know. So let's see if I got to share the screen for this. All right, let's see if this works. Oh, wait, it is working. Wait. No. I got to drop the new segment for you guys. Here's the new segment opener for the games that we're going to be having here on Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Let's get it. Let's go. Here it is. We're going to be doing shuffle. What, I don't even know what you call this. Tricky cups. They call it tricky cups. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to tell you guys, I've played this already, and this game is really hard. I don't even think I can get past level 8, just because it is really hard. But I'm going to be playing on behalf of the first guest and the first winner of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. So, like I said, the prizes aren't here yet, but because, you know, with the holidays and all of that, everybody exchanging gifts and ordering gifts, it hasn't got here on time. But that's okay. Everything happens for a reason. So I'm going to be playing on behalf of the first guest and the first winner of the season of 2022. So I think if I remember correctly, this is how we're going to do this. So, man, whoever was going to be the first winner, I'm sorry, I already lost it. No, that doesn't really count. All right, now we're going to start it right here. Let's start it. Let's play again. So if I get past level 7 and on, then you win. There it is. All right, I might need some help, so you guys might have to help me with solving the cups. All right. Oh, now that's easy. All right. See, look, we're already on level 3 and they got 2 coins. All right. All right. That was easy. Come on now. Need something hard. All right. Level 4. See, look, 5 cups and 2 coins. I know y'all just saw that. Did you, yo, they just tried to do me dirty. You saw how they lifted up the cup but left the coin? Are you serious? What is that? All right, let's go. Level 5. See, I thought I was kidding. This game's pretty hard. All right. Man, they did me dirty. Do you guys know what? I'm thinking it's this cup right here and this cup right here. So if anybody has any answers or any suggestions, I think it's these 2, but I wasn't really sure. I was kind of talking too much trash towards the game. And they got me right here. They got me tripped up. They got me jammed up right here. I don't want to be wrong, but you know what? Let's do it. That was only level 5. I mean, how difficult is this game supposed to be? I mean, you know what? I'm going to do it again because this first person is going to win. 2 right. I'm not sure. Did you mean 2 to the right? Because, I mean, I kind of botched it. All right. We're going to do it one more time because this first person of Weekly Dose of Dano TV is going to win the prize, and I can't wait for you guys to see what it is. It is pretty cool. All right. And I'm not just saying that just because I came up with it, but it is pretty freaking cool. All right. All right. That one's easy. Come on. This is child's play. Let's get it. You couldn't see which one I picked. Wait. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Wait. You can't see which one that I'm picking? If you look at the mouse, I'm selected over the ones that I think I can see it right here on the show just fine. Damn, I couldn't even see which one this was. As a consolation, just because I don't get level 7, I mean, I'm still going to give you guys the reward anyway. But like I said, the only way that you are able to win the reward is if you share the post. Oh, okay, maybe it was just a screen then. But the only way that you can win is if you share the post. And we're actually halfway through the program, so you already knows what that means. And I didn't see, I'm going to be honest, I didn't see which cup this was. So, yeah, whatever. Whoever wins, and just to let you guys know, in the future, that's going to be the end of that. In the future, the guests are going to be playing the game. And we have so many different ones, too, that are lined up. I mean, I can't wait for, I can't spoil them now just because they are pretty funny. But the guests are going to be playing on behalf of whoever the sharer is or the person watching, whatever you're going to say. Oh, wait. All right, well, there you go. You learned something new. I got to figure out why that wasn't working. Well, you know, the other game that I have is way more simpler, but, you know, it's going to be funny. I can't wait for you guys to see it. So right now we're halfway through the segment of the show, and it's been flying by. So we're just going to take a quick word from our sponsors. We're going to hear a quick word from them, and we'll be right back because we have one more thing before it all ends. It's 10 tips in order to help you keep track and to maintain charge that you will succeed in these New Year's resolutions. So don't go anywhere. Share this video. We'll be right back.
I received this insight about a title called Prisoner of War. The book.
Welcome back, everybody. That was just a quick word from our sponsors of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. And I switched the mic too, so let me know if you guys, if I sound any different, if I sound better, if I sound worse, if I sound the same, let me know. Just because I saw a few text messages that It wasn't really sounding the way that it normally does, but that's just because, you're trying something new. You're going to get different results. What can I say? And yeah, so let me know how this sounds the same. I wonder if it has anything to do with the camera, or maybe because I have this going on. So let's see if I take that out and I take this out, if it makes any difference. Let me know. Like I said, I'm in front of here. Your voice sounds deeper. I wonder why. You're like the fourth person to say that, Denise. Well, I can't do nothing about it now. So what we're gonna do is, you know what? Maybe if I play this in fast motion, if I speed it up, then I'll sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks, and maybe that'll make it sound a little bit better. But that'll just be after in the post production. You sound right now. All right, cool. Well, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So let's just keep moving forward with the fire content, because you already know that what we're about to talk about right here is the meat and the potatoes of the year, in order to make sure that you're achieving your New Year's resolution goals. So, like I said, I already shared with you guys what my 3 goals were, but here are some different, like I said, 10 tips in order to make sure that we're actually following through with the goals. So, tip number 1, in order to achieve those New Year goals and not quit in March, is this: tell others. And this is why I say drop it down in the comments as well. So tell others. When you tell other people about your goals, and make sure they're the right people too, because I remember, this was maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. I actually went vegan for about 6 months, 5 months, somewhere around there, which is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. But I saw this documentary on Netflix. I can't even remember what the name is. If you guys remember for me, it wasn't Food Inc. either. It was one of the new ones. And it talked about like athletes that were the best in the world because they went vegan. And I was like, wow, it was actually pretty informative and pretty life-changing too. Like, it changed my life for 6 months, but then I went back to it just because it was really hard. But the point of me saying that is because when you tell others about your goals, right, it holds you accountable. One, because you guys can just always come back to the recording. You guys could always come back to the episode. Dano, but you said right here that you were going to do X, Y, and Z. And I remember, this is why I brought up the vegan thing, because if I had like honey mustard or something like that was very, very insignificant, and people would look at me like, oh, I thought you said you were vegan. Well, yeah, I did say that, but come on, you got to cut me some slack. Nobody's perfect. So when you tell others, make sure that you're telling the right people and not the people that are just going to say something to you just to get underneath your skin. That's not what we want. And like I said, when you have other people that know about your goals, it holds you accountable just to say, okay, well, now I have an honor system that I have to follow, and we got to make sure that I'm doing everything, or we got to make sure that we're doing everything that we can in order to live up to our highest vibrational being. So that's number 1, tell others. And like I said, you might have met somebody in the comments, and you might just tell somebody in the street or somebody that you work with, hey, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and these are my goals. And they might have the same goals. And then you already know what that means. You exchange information if they're not, if they're not shady or anything like that. But you can say, hey, you can be my little accountability buddy just to make sure that everything goes as smooth as what you want it to be. And like I said, just make sure that you don't think that the ride is going to go like this. It is going to be this is considered smooth, up and down and up and down. And, just make sure that you're setting realistic goals for yourself too. And that's actually the next tip. Number 2 is setting realistic goals. I mean, if fitness is one of your main points that you want to work on this year, right? And you think that you're going to lose 100 pounds in a month, I mean, come on, that's not really realistic, especially if you only weigh like 200 pounds or anything less than that. I mean, where are you going to lose it from? Wow, everybody's saying that. I wonder why everybody's saying that the voice sounds different. I guess it's season 3. It's this energy that we're going on. And Lauren, I hope you're feeling better, by the way. So if everybody can send him some warm, fresh energy just to make sure that he's feeling well, because I remember he said he was feeling a little bit under the weather, but I hope you're feeling better. So number 2 is make sure that it's realistic. I mean, if you try to set yourself up for unrealistic goals and unrealistic standards, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to be so much harder to achieve. So take it little by little, piece by piece, and baby steps. Because if you set the ceiling this high, you start to look at it like, wow, that looks kind of far. I'm not really sure if I can reach those goals or those standards. And then you'll start to talk yourself out of it. And that is not a good cycle that we want, because obviously you set these goals for a reason. But I'm gonna get to that. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but that's just because I just want to share with you guys all of this great information that I learned and that I'm actually gonna use. And I'm not just talking fluff. You already know we talk that real talk, and all the strategies that I share with you guys, I actually use in my personal life too. So we're not talking that nonsense over here, just to let you guys know. So number 2, be easy on yourself if you do. Number 2, that's number 3. What am I talking about? Being realistic is number 2. Number 3, be easy on yourself. Nobody is perfect, and we all know that. I mean, I don't know. Some people in the comments, they might think that they're a little perfect, but let's be realistic here. Like I said, number 2, nobody's perfect, and it's not about if you fail and that's it. It's about how you respond to that adversity and how you respond to, however you failed. I mean, if you said that you weren't going to eat that piece of cake and you ended up eating the piece of cake, or you showed up 2 minutes later and you're usually 30 minutes later, I mean, you got to give yourself some credit for making that improvement, because it's like we always say, it's about that perspective. If you're going to focus on the 2 minutes rather than the 28 minutes that you improved upon, then you're just going to set yourself up for a downward spiral, and that's not really going to be a good thing. So remember, be easy on yourself. Nobody is perfect, and it's not about what you do. It's about how you answer to what you did. And it's about, I can't say we, I usually always say we, but you know what your goals are. I know what my goals are. So it's up to us when nobody's watching. They say that's what character is. It's what you do when nobody's watching, So make sure that you're holding yourself accountable too in that. And just remember to be easy on yourself. Number 4, stick to it. And this is where I said that I was, earlier, that I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. And the reason that I say stick to it is so important is because there's this concept called first thought, second mind. And the best way that I can explain this to you guys is like, relationships or people that you meet. So, and I'm just going to say it for what it is. I'm going to keep it real with y'all, because you already know that this is so true. So if you meet somebody for the first time and everybody has their type, and you're like, wow, well, this person is maybe a 7 in looks, and it's not really good to rate people, but hey, we all have our own preferences. It really does happen. It is a thing. So if you think that this person is a 7 in the beginning, that's your first thought. Then as you start to get to know the person, they become funny, or you like the way that they do this thing, or you like the way that they dress, or, they like the similar interests, they have similar interests as you. Then you're like, wow, well, at first I thought they were a 7, but now they're up to a 9. And that's your second mind. And the reason that I bring that up is that if you wrote these goals down in the very beginning of the year, always go with your first mind, because that's your intuition speaking to you. And you know that if it's a top priority to you, that's why you're writing this down in the beginning of the year, because you didn't like how it turned out last year. And this year you want to make it different. So first thought, second mind, stick to it. Just because maybe a few months down the line, you start to fall off about it, or you start to forget about it, and you start to justify your actions, always remember that you wrote it down in the beginning of the year for a reason, whatever that reason may be. But you always have to honor that first thought, second mind. And that's kind of the best way that, that was the best analogy that I could use, because that, we talk about it all the time. Me and my boys, or, everybody talks about it at home. And another reason that you're supposed to stick to it is because you want to build that discipline. And discipline is not necessarily always a bad thing, but discipline to me is like a muscle. When you go to the gym, at first, you're not going to be able to lift 100 pounds. You got to start with 20, 25, and maybe jump up to 40 for a few weeks, and all the way until you get to 100 pounds. But discipline is the same way. You're not going to be this, in tidy or in shape, or everything's not going to be perfect. So when you train that discipline muscle that you have, the further along that you start to hit the mark on it and that you're achieving these goals with that discipline, then it's only going to get easier for you as well. And we have some comments here too that improvements make us better people. Don't beat yourself up, but try harder. I like that. And, just be careful with that try harder part, because a lot of people will beat themselves up and try hard and then they'll burn out. But make sure that you have that balance will be the thing that I would say. We tend to make excuses for ourselves and become relaxed. Stick to your first impression. Honor that 1,000%. And that could be another thing too, that you don't stick to your first impression, is because you start to become comfortable where you are. And we all know that the comfort zone is the worst place, one of the worst places that you can be mentally. Here we go. Dependable. Denise, I'm gonna need you to explain or expand on that. Dependable in what way? So you know yourself better than others. You have to set those deal breakers, and that is so true. Nobody's gonna do these goals for you. Nobody's gonna live in your shoes. Nobody's gonna live your life for you. That's why 100%, you know yourself better than anybody else. So always make sure that you are living to the best that you can. And I understand we all get distracted and, other things come up in our lives, that it's not always 100%, clear cut. There's always some gray area, but make sure that you're looking towards and you're choosing to be the best person that you can be, because come on now, who doesn't want to do that? People that don't give up tend to be dependable. Oh, so relied on. And that, yeah, I can see that. People that don't give up tend to be dependable, reliable people. Yeah, 100%. And when you set that example for yourself, or let's say if you have children or if you have a friend that wants to do the same thing, once they see that you're reliable, you are setting a standard for these people that are looking up to you. And I'm going to tell you guys this. I don't care who you are in this world. There's always somebody that looks up to you, whether it's a family member, a friend, a coworker, whatever the instance may be. There is always somebody looking up to you, and there's always somebody watching, which is kind of creepy to say, but there's people that do become obsessed with other people. So you're never really alone, and everything that you do in the dark will come to light as well. So you got haters watching you, you got fans, supporters, whatever it may be. Just always remember that you're not alone in this world, and there's always somebody watching you and looking up to you. Whether it's a positive light or negative light, that's a whole separate story. But just always remember that, there's always somebody watching. So, and maybe it's the people that we can't see. Maybe it's the world that we can't see, feel, or touch. I mean, just always keep that in mind too. Give them something. That's what I'm talking about. Give them something to watch is right. Oh, see, look. Robert, I didn't even know Robert was on here. That's exactly what I'm talking about. By you commenting that, you just proved my point. Thank you so much, Robert. We're going to give him something to watch. That's what I'm talking about. So, I think this is number 5, is track your progress. If you're going that, not tracking your progress is crazy. I mean, why would you start a fire just to let it die? That's kind of the best way that I can explain that. If you're not going to see yourself on the journey, always constantly moving forward, then why are you doing what you're doing? I mean, you want to see that self-improvement. You want to see that self-development to say, hey, listen, I was this way, or I have this or that. And this is what I turned out to be. I fought through the adversity. I fought through the naysayers and all of that stuff. But it's like, why would you not keep track of your goals? And trust me, you guys might think, yo, why are you even saying that on here? Like, that's common sense. But common sense ain't so common anymore, as we already know. Is I don't even got to get into that. So make sure that you are tracking your progress, just to show yourself, oh, you know what? I actually have a picture still loaded on here. And it just came to my mind, but it makes so much sense. And here it is. Day by day, nothing changes. But when you look back, everything is different. And when you start to keep track of those goals day by day, you can say, oh, wow, I'm going in the right direction. And you're starting to have that positive motivation. Whoops, it's this big fuzzy thing. I gotta change that. But it's like, man, you're having that positive motivation. You're like, wow, I can do this. And then you can start to develop the habits in even a greater fashion or even smaller amount of time. So that's that. Track your progress. Number 6, outline your plan. This is one that I threw in here because I wanted to hear your guys' opinions on outlining your plan. To me, 100%, it is very important, but I don't categorize it as something that's at the top of my list. Because I feel like if you have a plan and you don't stick to that plan, that leads you to go down a negative path. But you could also make the claim that it's about your perspective, that as long as you have a plan, then you have kind of a guide to show you where you want to be. So let me know what you guys think about plans. I don't really ever write plans out for myself. I mean, there's goals. I think a goal is different from a plan, though, because when you have the plan, I feel like you're like, okay, X, Y, Z needs to be done. And it's kind of like the same thing on like a vacation, where you have somebody that's the planners, and then you have the people that just get up, wake up out of bed, whatever they feel like doing for the day, that's what they're going to do. And I feel like that's kind of like the person that I am. I'm just going to wake up and I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't want to have a plan, because you can never really expect that the thing that you wrote down in the plan is going to go according to plan anyway. So I just feel like it's not a waste of time, but it's like you're planning for things that you don't even know are going to happen or not. So why worry about it? Because if you're worrying about it now, that's one time. Then when that thing comes back around and the plan doesn't work out, then you're spending the second time worrying about, well, Dan, well, now what do I do? So that's 2 times that you're putting stress on yourself. So me, I don't really like plans too much. I just kind of like to go with the flow. But goals are definitely 100% different from a plan. So let me know what you guys think about that. Damn, I can't even read my own handwriting. But you know what? We're going to go on to the next one. So hopefully you guys know what, here it is. No worries. Go with the flow. That's what I'm talking about. Go with the flow. And I feel like, what did I tell you guys earlier? It all ties in together. That's why I'm getting so hyped. Because what did I say I was going to do? I was going to stay in the flow. And when you're staying in your flow, you don't really have anything that you have to worry about. Because when you're in that flow, all of your decisions are going to be made, hopefully, I know for me, hopefully it's the same for you guys, but all of your decisions are going to be made from a plan, from all of your moves are going to be made from a place of love, of happiness, of just good intentions and positive energy. So it's like, okay, when you're staying in that flow, then everything starts to make sense. Now, I see Robert commented. I can't wait to see what he says. Robert definitely has a different way of thinking than me, but you guys might agree with this. So let's see. Planning normally does what? Me and Robert agree on something? There you go. Planning normally doesn't work. You can have a beginning and an end, and the in-between has to happen the way that it will, and you just adapt. We're on the same wavelength, and I'm actually happy about that. Just because I know that, you know, everything that we talk about, we don't really agree on, but I do agree with this. And you know, this is just a small example, guys. Just because you may not have the same idea, because look, here's Lauren. Without a plan, you're only working a wish. And I'm not trying to start any drama or any beef in the comments, but you know, it's just amazing how we all can have these different perspectives, and we can still come together as a community, as a group, with the Positivity Posse, just to shed some light, you know. Dano, I think you're saying your last words. All right, so we're just gonna go on to the next topic, which is I believe this one's number 8, and it's having SMART goals. So if you guys don't know what SMART goals are, it's making sure that your goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So if you always need that, Oh, here we go. I see the caps going on. I don't want to feed into any of that. So, all right, you know what? Let's do it. Why not? Let's stir the pot. Need comes with a plan. Want is based on a wish list. I agree with that. Need comes with a plan. Want is based on a wish list. Here we go. Let's move on to the next one. It's all about individual perspective. Do what makes you happy. We got Dominique being a. You want to talk about somebody that's stirring the pot? Here we go. You will never have control of other people nor your environment. That's true. So I'm just going to move on to the next topic, which is number 8. Make sure that you have SMART goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. I actually learned this back in high school when I was taking an entrepreneurship class. And this is one of the things that always stayed with me because it makes so much sense. When you have goals that are, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based, I feel like you're kind of covering every angle and every possibility to make sure that you're doing everything in your capacity to make sure that, you're achieving your New Year's resolutions. So everybody, you already know how we always wrap up the show. If somebody, this is actually a part of the show that I didn't want to change because every time, and I firmly believe this, that every time, whether it's me, whether it's, a comment, whether it's a guest that's on the show, every time somebody can answer this question, I really do believe we are affecting somebody that they may be going through their deepest, darkest time. So I'm not going to change this for this year. Maybe I might choose a different question. Who knows? I just feel like this part of the show is very important to me and hopefully for you guys as well. So what advice would you have? And you guys can contribute to this as well. If somebody's going through their deepest, darkest times, let's all come together and answer this question. If somebody's going through their deepest, darkest times, what advice would you give to them to make sure that they can pull themselves out of it and that they can see the light at the end of the tunnel? So here we go. This is my piece of advice for you guys. You always got to make sure that you are number one, and you have to be a little bit selfish, but you can't let other people get into your ear. I know a lot of people rely on friends, friends' advice or family members' advice, but you always have to take everything with a grain of salt because not everybody wants your best intentions and they don't want what's best for you. So I think what you have to do if you're not feeling that great is you have to, listen to some positive affirmations or look up some good quality content that, you can find, not everything's always positive, but if, there's some good news sources that have positive news that are always circulating, give yourself that boost of dopamine. Do whatever it is that you find fun. If you find that you find enjoyment playing an instrument or going to walk in nature or playing Xbox with your boys, you have to find that thing that helps you escape from your everyday world. Because if you don't have that separation and you're always living in that one state of mind, then I'm going to use Lauren's example. Here it is. If you have that one state of mind, you're just flatlining, right? Now, when you are going through your ups and downs and you're having these different kinds of, states of mind, let's take this pattern, these two patterns, and put them on a heart monitor. When you have the up and downs, that means you're still living. But when you have a flat line and a heart monitor, that means you're dead, So always remember, here we go. We got to ask it. So this is Lou's answer. Always come back to the Positivity Posse if somebody's in their deepest, darkest times. I like that answer, Lou. Dominique, remember why you made it this far and keep going and be grateful, speak gratitude. And those are seriously some of the best pieces of advice that I can give as well. A lot of people just think that they're meant wherever they are right now is where they're meant to be, and that's all they're ever going to be. But remember that your emotions and anything that you're going through in life, it's the same thing. You can equate it to the weather. It's some days it's going to be rainy, some days it's going to be sunny, some days it's going to snow, and some days you're going to have the leaves fall off. But always remember that wherever you're at right now, you're not going to be there forever. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and all is temporary. Exactly. You just said what I wanted to say, and in 3 words. So Thank you so much, everybody. Next week, we're going to have Rasta coming on the show. I actually met him at an event for E360 down in Florida. And that is going to be, if you guys can take a guess on what Rasta is, you might be right. But he's going to come on to talk about everything that he's gone through with his life. He's a DJ as well. And I can't wait for you guys to hear about that episode because he was speaking a language that I haven't heard many people talk about. And I can't wait for you guys to see him. So thank you so much for being here tonight for season 3 of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. If you can, one more time, drop a hashtag Positivity Posse for me before you go, just to know that I know that you guys are going to have a great weekend, and just to throw in that extra bit of energy, that positive energy, so you can receive it right back going into the weekends. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Let's go!